Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 35 of the Empowered Heart podcast.
Can't believe this is 35.
No.
It's crazy.
Okay, so today's November the 18th. Tomorrow is November the 19th.
Yeah.
17th. And tomorrow we have a very special event in the sky.
We do.
Pluto moves into Aquarius. And like, we are not astrologers, but let me tell you about the energy that we're feeling. If you guys are feeling ungrounded, anxious, overthinking, worried, dissociated, nausea I find comes really when we're really ungrounded as well. It's normal. And Pluto moving into Aquarius. So Aquarius is like the sign of the future, if you will, of like forward thinking in the sense of, what's a good word to say this? It's like all about things being different, and it's all about, so Pluto moving into Aquarius is all about like the constructs and the way life has been is no more. And we're already seeing that with the US election. I won't share my personal belief on here, but from a spiritual perspective, I will. From a spiritual perspective, from a spiritual perspective, let me just say this first. I understand that Trump being elected right now is hard for all people because he is really gearing away from like trans rights, which is not good, but it's the whole part of like children being indoctrinated into picking their gender. He's clearing that out, which personally I think is a good idea, but we won't get into that too much today. Really what it is Trump is an agitator from a spiritual perspective with I'm not American, as a Canadian looking in spiritually. Trump is like an agitator of the system. And even though shit is chaotic and it's going to get really chaotic, that's what Aquarian energy is. And I'm sure you've heard of like the age of Aquarius moving in. This is it. This is the age of Aquarius moving in. I necessarily don't believe Trump is going to be our be all end all, whatever. Like, we shouldn't be looking at government as like saviors anyway. And I do that with quotations. But as somebody coming in to like fuck it up, to make it like shake shit up so that we can break systems, it is positive from that perspective, even though a lot of people are suffering and things are not going as well. It is positive movement forward because more positivity will come from this. It's like, it has to get shittier before it gets better. This is what is happening. So that is a reflection of the Aquarian age. And yeah.
Well, because Pluto is the planet of transformation, isn't it?
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's one of the planets that represents Scorpio. So it's death and rebirth.
Yeah.
Right. So Pluto's been in Capricorn, which has really been about, I'm not that familiar with Capricorn energy because I'm not Capricorn. So you should speak on this. And the floor is yours.
I don't really know a lot about it. I just know that we are closing out a 16-year-long cycle that started in 2008. And it's about release, death, and transformation. Those were the three key notes. And so anything that you have walked through in the last 16 years that has been really, really challenging, and I do know for Capricorns it has been particularly, all that's coming to a complete end for Capricorns.
Yeah, also look, if you, I should do this for you, Crystal. If you open up your natal chart, so you can like go online and just type in like astroseek.com and type your birthday in. And if you look where Aquarius is on your chart, it will be transiting a different house. So Aquarius holds my 10th house of career. And so for the past 20 years, like me and my career has been an effing disaster. And it's like, as things are moving into the future, forward thinking, it's high. Aquarius highlights my 10th house of career, my legacy. And so that is the part of my chart that will be the most transformed personally. It will be transformed for everybody. And then on a collective scale, obviously different, but super, super interesting. I'll check for you.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I don't know a lot about it. I don't really know a lot about like astrology and human design and that kind of thing. I mean, it interests me, but like I just don't absorb it well.
I don't absorb human design.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm a projector, this and that, whatever, but I'm like, what? I know that like I'm motivated by fear, and that like checks is like, it's like, I'm just like, I always say, I'm like if you could imagine me as a dog, I would be like a toy poodle who was like shaking, like, I'm fucking scared, but is also like barking because it's like, I gotta protect myself, but I'm scared. Like
So
that's,
if you don't have fear present in your life,
I look for it.
do you feel like stagnant or like bored? Like you just have no direction? Or what does it feel like?
It feels, I mean, it does because I'm self-aware, and because I've woke up to all, I've had so many spiritual awakenings, I'm aware. So it feels good. But on the other side, like, it feels calm. I'm like, thank God. But then what will happen is my ego will literally try to find something. Like, it'll be constantly be like, oh, well, hold on, hold on, hold on. And I'm like, would you just stop? Like, it's so it's exacerbated compared to like the regular person who's not motivated by fear.
Okay, so Scorpio's a water sign, right?
Yes.
Do you have a lot of air in your chart?
No. Although my rising sign is air.
Okay.
So it's dominant
Mhm.
because it's my rising sign, but other than
Mhm.
that, no.
Mm.
Like, my personality, like, my rising sign's Gemini, so I'm like, like, but that's me. Or I can be like, don't talk to me. Or I can be like hyper and overactive and just all the things, or that I'm like, I can't talk to anybody. Like,
Like
I'm
one extreme or the other,
very extreme.
which is what they call bipolar, but it's not.
Yeah. No.
It's just who you are.
Yeah,
It's your human design.
it's true. So yes,
Fascinating.
so Pluto in Aquarius, we're going to, so Pluto moving into Aquarius, we are not going to, this is going to be for the rest of our lives. So
Yeah.
Pluto will stay there, I don't know how many years it is, but it's
2056 or 2065, I can't remember.
so we
A
won't,
long time.
yeah. So I mean, obviously younger younger generations will experience not this, but this is going to, like, shit is going to get shaken up. The life that we have known is not going to be the life that we are in.
Yeah.
Like, you look at 5 years from now, life is going to be so different. And honestly, thank God, because like these, like, Pluto and Capricorn, like the like systems and the building and the like governments and the
Yeah,
what,
the really rigid limiting structures.
yeah, like the,
Currency borders.
yeah, that currency borders, money, like,
Belts.
what's it called?
Schools.
My brain is not functioning. What's it called? What, capitalism?
Mm.
Like, that would be Capricornian energy. It's like, build, 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 better, better, better. No, I am not built for that shit. Like, I'm not.
No, now everything's just gonna crumble apart.
If
So like
you
our
know,
lives have felt like this recently.
yeah,
It's like everything just seems to be falling away. The illusions are being stripped away, and it's like your life feels like it's falling apart, but actually it's just
the
gonna be,
systems are falling apart.
the systems are falling apart, and it's gonna create a solid foundation for us.
I what I see, my third eye is that we're gonna split. So if it's gonna be like the new Earth, the old Earth. People do not want to conform to the new, will stay in the old, or people
Yeah.
are scared to
Yeah.
move to the new, or cannot change their belief systems. There's gonna be two ways of thinking,
Yeah.
probably for a while.
Yeah. If they can't ascend, which I mean, some people just, it's not their life path, first of all, you know, like they're just not here to ascend. But the ones that do, and it's going to be happening at a really rapid speed, which is going to feel like shit hits the fan, because we have to rise up in consciousness and like split, not meaning like the earth is going to split into two and half the people are going to be living on this earth, and but it's like a consciousness level, and where you are at in your consciousness will be the reality that you live in. That's a very quantum conversation.
I know, but like if you can, like, it'll be like all of a sudden we get like food stamps or something like that. But like not from a place of control, but from like a place of not control, and how that could go, like there's ways that could go wrong, but let's like we need to be more on an equal playing field. Not that the government is better, like it's going to be like everybody, including the government. We all need to be on an equal playing field.
Yeah.
And that's what we are moving to. And I cannot wait to see this shit unfold. This whole thing of aliens in the ocean, and people are like not even flinching. I don't know if that's, see, the thing is, I don't know if that's even necessarily true,
I
but
haven't even heard about that.
what?
No.
Okay, so the US government did a hearing on Wednesday and disclosed that like they have got alien body parts. They have had them forever, before like even half of us were born. They've been doing experiments, all the things on spacecraft, like, and like they live in our oceans, and like they're 100% they're aliens, and the population hasn't even flinched. And I believe it's because they literally cannot believe. I feel like the programming so deep. Like for myself, somebody who's awake is well aware there are aliens. We're all hybrids of aliens anyway, but it's hard for me to like, it's hard for my human to get on board, because it's like, wait, what? Like we've been told for so long life is a certain way, and that indoctrination it runs in your fucking blood, you know?
Yeah.
And
So
to like
one of my psychic friends was talking to me in a session about aliens, and she said they're walking amongst humanity all the time and they look like people. Yeah. I believe it. I mean, we cannot be the only living, breathing race.
Well, my next question is like, does an alien know they're an alien? And then it dawned on me, like, are psychics considered aliens?
Well, we are all considered psychic. We are all equipped with the same pineal gland and the same ability to connect with consciousness, like every human on this earth.
So somebody walking around who looks like a human and actually is an alien, like, what does that mean?
They're not from Earth. And their intelligence is far beyond what human brains are. like their IQs are ridiculous. Like when we channel universal wisdom, that's not from Earth.
Right.
You know, like we're not just like,
well, we need to get somebody on here who
knows a lot about it.
Maybe we have somebody. I think I might have somebody. Okay, well, let's get into today's topic. This is like not the topic of today, but
this is not the topic.
It totally can be, because this is such a cool conversation.
It can be. It can be.
With aliens forever. I have all the questions in the world, and like, if I told my dad this, he'd be like, "That's bullshit," and I'd be like, "But Dad, it's on the news, right?"
Well, like, what's one of your questions? What would
Well,
be a question?
my
Alien
question is like,
question.
I want to know, like, do aliens know that they're aliens, or do they, because they're masked as humans? And
Yeah,
when did they come in? Are they walk-in souls?
they absolutely know they're aliens, and they can come in and out
Are
because
you
they're
asking
just.
right now?
I know. It's just downloading, Morgan.
What I mean, you're asking right now, you're connecting.
So they just like teleport through their consciousness because they have the ability to reach way higher consciousness than we have tapped into.
So then
They
are
must be of like a
is their consciousness a walk-in to the
like a
human?
90.
Is their because their body is human, no, or no, it's not.
Yeah, their body is a human body.
So then was their human body born with a consciousness and then they walked in as a soul, like kind of?
Yep. So it's, for example, have you seen that girl Seven on TikTok that channels light language? So she's from a planet, so she would be considered alien. But
So the
she was
consciousness is alien.
their consciousness is alien and she knows she is. She knows which planet she's from. She speaks their language. She knows why she's here. She like aliens are good. They are
Oh,
good. They're here to help us, right? So her mission is to come in as an alien. So she was birthed from her mother, just like a human. And she has access to higher levels of consciousness that is helping the human race.
Hmm.
And she does it through healing. And then there's a little boy too. What's his name? Him and his mom are on TikTok. And he's probably like 8, but what he knows is far beyond what an 8-year-old knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like talks about like frequencies and
Yeah. Yeah.
well, this kind of goes with today's topic. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about how animals are here to
Oh,
heal us. And
yeah.
Crystal, you should go because Crystal just opened up animal healing and it's
I
beautiful.
did. Thank you. I did. First of all, I would like to say, I did not plan this. My soul path knew that this was the way. And now when I look back on everything, it makes so much sense because I have always had a really, really deep connection to earth, to animals. Um, and like it's funny because Morgan, I can't remember, I think it was Annie when Annie got sick, my cat. You're like, why do your pets always get sick? And I was like, it's because I'm a healer. Like that was my first thought. I'm an animal healer. And so long story short, that's kind of how this started. I got attuned to a frequency called ACHF at the end of July. And it's a frequency that I channel from the ninth dimension. I flip my palm over, and as soon as I do that, I can feel it enter my left palm. Like it feels really cold and like electric. And then it moves through my arms, through my chest to my right hand, and that's where I send the ACHF through. And so I naturally, my cats got sick, and so they were the first ones that I started practicing animal healing on. My daughter's horse went lame twice, and there's a cat at the barn. You were here when that all went down. She was almost like she was knocking on heaven's door when I started healing her, and she made a full recovery. The people don't know that. I healed their cat, but I did. And so then my friend messages me the other day and she's like, Crystal, I have someone. So the lady that attuned me to ACHF, Ariel Corey, we had her on here on one of our episodes. She messaged me and she says, I have someone asking about animal healing. Can you help her out? And it was like all the pieces clicked into place. Everything that had been happening, I was like, oh, okay. Yes.
When you told me, I was like, oh my God. Like I was my soul was the most excited. I was like, I have to tell everybody I need to put this on my website. I'm like, why do I need to do that? I don't know. I was like, okay, so I'm going to get my virtual assistant to do that.
Yeah, you were so supportive.
But it's like weird how I'm not doing it. Of course, I'm doing it to be a good friend. Of course I am. But it's like not coming from me. It's like when you told me this, my soul was like, Yes, yes, like was like freaking out.
It is the most out of this entire process of starting my business. This is the most, it feels the most like me.
Yeah.
This feels the most like me. And so this lady reached out and I was like, okay, well now we're starting a new leg in our business. What are we gonna call it? So I'm like 7 o'clock at night. I'm like playing around with names and I come up with Soul Pause Healing and I created the link. I want it to be affordable. I want it to be because I know how much medical costs for pets. We have spent thousands of dollars on our pets. I want it to be affordable, so I'm charging $100 a session.
Awesome.
And ACHF is insanely powerful.
It is
And
wild.
it is. Yeah.
It is friggin' so, it's like, it's an amplifier. I found like it helps things click into place that are meant to click into place. So like
Yep.
this year when I was experiencing, like this year I experienced, I think I've shared on here, a 40 or 45-day depression, and like not just like, oh, I'm tired today, but I mean like hysterically bawling my eyes out with sadness and trauma for 40 days in a row, something like that. And I got ACHF, and it, like the time that I had it done, it was so much worse in that moment because it like purged it all out. It was the most beautiful experience. And after I had that done, I was able to retrieve my memories from when I was a kid that I haven't been able to. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to retrieve
Oh,
my whole life. It was
so
wild.
beautiful.
I could see my home that I grew up in that I blocked out in fine detail. Like I could see like the carpet, I could see the door handle, I could see the mirror, I could see the sink. We had a glass sink. It's like I can see it now. And I literally wouldn't touch a memory from 14 and under. Like, what do you think about it?
It's amazing.
It is so amazing. And actually today, Crystal is working on my pets, and
Yeah.
found out that my cat is dehydrated and she's had these sores, and then they
Yeah.
go away, they come back, and it's because she has crystals in her urine.
Yeah. Yeah. In her bladder. Yep. Yep.
Not enough to like send her to the vet, but like I wouldn't have known this, and she's going to do my dog later, so I would highly suggest you guys doing this.
Thank you.
Just, yeah, it's so friggin' powerful.
It's fascinating. It's truly fascinating. So ACHF activates your natural DNA, like it works with your nervous system and your energy centers. So it's like it helps you remember. It like returns things on and amplifies your body's ability to heal. It heals, it clears, it integrates. Like there's so many things that it can do. Like Ariel said, there's not one thing that I have come up against that it can't do. It is truly, truly powerful. So when I go into a session, there's two guides, two elders of ACHF that I work with. And throughout the session, they guide the session, and I am just the portal of ACHF, bringing it down from the 16th portal and sending it to the light body of whoever I'm working on, essentially.
So
Yeah, and so I've been in it, like I did like a really big session on myself this morning and my dad's chickens. So my dad's chickens, they haven't been laying eggs. There's been one chicken that's been laying eggs, and they're not very old. They're like 2 maybe. And we were there the other day, and I was like, you know what? They're sad. Like I could feel it. They just feel sad. And he's like, well, it could be all the trauma they've experienced, because there used to be 7 chickens and now there's 3 because they have all been killed. And 2 of them were killed right in the cage, right in the cage that they're in, the pen. We still don't know how, but a big part of the reason why they're not laying is because not so much that, but because they used to free range My dad would let them out every day, and animals, they need that, right? Like they need sunlight and to be stimulated, and he hasn't let them out because if he does, they're going to get killed because he lives in the mountain, right? So I was able to send them ACHF and help calm their nervous systems and, help send them joy and love and peace, and hopefully they can start laying eggs.
Wow.
Fingers crossed.
Well, I will tell you that, like, from a personal experience, that when I had that session in the summer, it has allowed it, like, just quickened things, it like, it didn't get rid of my depression. It just allowed the depression to kind of happen faster, and I was able to process it. So yeah, I don't know. You have to experience it, like, to
Mhm.
understand. It's like, it's friggin' wild. Like, every time
Yeah,
after, I'm like, am I on mushrooms? Like,
I know.
everything, the colors of things are all weird. I'm like, I can't go outside. Like, it's like, it's so strong. Uh,
It's so strong. You are not the same person after a ACHF session than
you're
you
not-
are when you went in. You will never be the same person.
it's so cool. It's like a timeline hopper.
It totally. And it continues to work for about a maximum of 10 days from your session till, so there's like a big integration period with it, but it is like truly amazing for like your physical body, your emotional body, your mind, like the everything.
I can, what, this is like going way off topic, but I can see your aura today and it's really distracting. Is it because of, like, your sessions you've done
I
today?
was gonna say, I this is what I was gonna say before I went off track. I feel really um like high.
It's why, like, I'm like trying to, like, look at you, but I can't look at you because it's just like there's so much light around you today, and it's
Wow, that's beautiful. I have been in ACHF today for a total of probably an hour and a half.
wow,
So yeah, I'm
like
floating
buzzing.
on cloud 15. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the animals. Tell me about cats. What are cats' missions here?
Cats are sent to us. Actually, we think that we decide we want one, but that's not how it works. They come to us. So
Okay.
if you have a cat, congratulations. Cats are like one of the best. I mean, all animals are amazing, but cats are meant to guard our energy body. They are here to ward off negative energies. They're here to make sure that your home is safe. So if your cat gets upset because you've shut a door, it's because they want to make sure what behind that door is safe. That's why, like, when you're in the bathroom, the door's closed and they're coming in, they're meowing at the door or their foot is underneath. Like, they're like, no, I need to make sure that this is safe for you. Like, they guard us. And that's a lot of the reasons why cats will sleep with their person or near their person, because that's their job. They have like one foot in like the spiritual realm and one foot in the physical realm at all times. They don't see our physical body, they see our light body.
Wow.
Yeah, and they will look around the room, like you'll see them looking at nothing. They see everything energetically.
Okay, so they see, this aura of yours is so distracting. Um, I'm not used to
I'm
seeing.
gonna take it as a compliment.
uh, Um, so if I don't look at you, it's not because I'm being rude. Um,
Okay.
so cats, like, see everything energetically, like, not just us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they see it all. And they're healers. So that's what their purr does. Their purring frequency actually is the same frequency that heals broken bones.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Well, like today when you, so Crystal went into my cat's energy today and she said that my cat, she always sleeps on my chest, always, and she will follow me around outside and stuff.
Yeah, she goes for walks with you.
Yeah, it's really
I
cute.
love that.
My Scorpio self with my black cat, and we're walking on the street, walking the dog. Like it's really funny.
I love it.
But she said that my cat Keisha, her aura is green and she's a heart healer.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And she's your life mate.
My life mate.
That was the first thing that Zamir said to me when I went in, that Keisha says that you are her life mate and she is your life mate.
You know, it's so funny. I found Keisha. So I moved to a stable when I was younger to, I was going to be a stable manager. Now I like failed at that job because I was like drinking all the time then. This was like not back before I was sober. And it was so much work. Like aside from, I mean, I feel like everybody drinks at the stable. Okay, that's just like what people do in the horse industry. But it was like, for me, it was a ridiculous amount of work and I was like overwhelmed. And but I was like, I need a friend. So I went, this is how I know when you were like life mate. I was like, oh. So I went to this happened with Gracie too. I went to the pound, what do you call it? Pound?
Yeah.
And I got a cat. And we brought the cat home and the cat ran away. Like within like the first 10 minutes.
Really?
It like ran away and I was like, well, what am I gonna do now? Like I need an animal. Like there was mice, I was like living in the barn. It was a very nice barn. It was like a top-notch show barn. So it was like nice. But I was like, well, what am I gonna do now? So I went back and I got Keisha. And of course,
she was meant to be.
yeah, it was meant to be. So, and we have been best buddies ever since. Like she's just been, I don't know, I've like never felt so bonded towards a cat before. My mom, I actually got thrown out of that barn in the middle of the winter. They fired me um for leaving a beer bottle out or something like after New Year's. But anyways, that was a long time. But they like literally they kicked me out and I had Keisha and I was like, okay. And I had to move back home. And my mom was like, you're not bringing her here. And I was like, then I'm not coming home ever again. Like it was like,
yeah,
me and
it's not
Keisha
happening.
against the world. And which was so bizarre. But and then she actually really bonded with my mom, which was wild. They were best friends. But the same thing happened with Gracie. We got a dog, the puppy died, and then he wasn't wanted at the home she was at, and she came here and lived with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I love that.
Pets are, you know, we're drawn to a certain animal for a certain reason, you know?
Yeah, so dogs' purpose is to guard us physically.
Huh.
That's their job. Their job is a physical protector. So if you have a cat and dog, you're doing great. You've got all things bases covered.
Yeah. So, okay, do you know about dogs? Like, is that something that I feel like you're more of a cat person, really, but
I personally am, and that's just like I love dogs, don't get me wrong. I love dogs. Dogs, I am really, really sensitive to sound. And it's the dog barking for me that sets me off. That's the only thing that, I can't handle.
well, I mean, dogs are so loyal.
They are.
That loyalty that they provide, like you're their person. It's like they're here to protect. Just, oh, I don't know what I would do without mine.
Yeah, and they're so happy too. Like they love you unconditionally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we know anything else about any other animals?
Horses are they have the highest healing frequency.
Right.
Like the energy that they give off is like the most healing out of all animals. Like they have a huge aura and just really high vibrational energy. So a lot of people, like when they ride a horse, they kind of feel like everything melts away because the horse literally transmutes anything that's going on in your energy.
I rode growing up, and I will tell you, just from like the feeling that I get after like a really good workout, like if my day is like perfect, if the sun is shining and I've had really good food and I had a good sleep and I had a really good workout and like everything, and like I got a random check in the mail, like that feeling at the end of the day is what it feels like to ride a horse. Like
Yeah.
that is how I can,
Yeah, it's like almost euphoric.
yeah, it is. It's just like, it's just so good and it's grounding.
Yes. Yep, they anchor you right in. And you'll notice too when you're riding them and they do that it's like they're sneezing kind of, but they're not. That's them like purging the energy that you're holding. Like they're just like getting rid of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, horses are, and like they're beautiful. And that's why
I love
they
horses.
do, like if you're like after a trauma or after your sobriety journey or after you've been injured, they like there is horse rehabilitation for humans because
Mhm.
it's so healing. Like they are
Yeah.
just, I mean, some are assholes, but they are very healing. They are so,
Mhm.
I don't know,
Well, well, a lot of people are scared of horses because they're really big and powerful, and they are. But like even like when I go to the barn and I'm just with Rosie for 10 minutes, I'm just like if I always like compare it to like having like a little bit of red wine. That's how I feel. I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
this is so good.
so good.
So I
It's,
can understand why Bella needs to ride every day.
yeah, like it's just,
Yeah.
well, I mean, and also like the sport of riding, right?
Yeah.
It really is a beautiful thing. I mean, we could go into all the things that are not beautiful about it, but we won't right now. But yeah, like they're just, yeah, yeah, it's like an exhale. Like it's a
Yeah.
ground
Yeah.
exhale type of vibe that they give.
Yeah. And now they do like horse healing therapy where you like lay on a
Oh yeah,
table.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, you should.
Lay on a table and then the horse will like feel in your energy like where it's restricted and just kind of sit there, you know? Yeah, it's fascinating. Animals are incredible. And I was thinking too, I just had to download that birds are like the spiritual communicator. So they are very vocal, obviously, but they like speak to us in tone. And they're um the spiritual realm will send us birds as signs.
You're so tapped in right now.
I know.
I love it.
Just like all this stuff is just coming. And then I'm like,
What about
I wonder
cows?
what?
Cows.
I don't know. I don't know about cows. They're kind of like the mother energy, I guess. Kind of remind me of Mother Earth.
Hmm.
Like they're very nurturing and comforting and soft. Cows just have that like motherish.
This reminds me, you being tapped in right now, reminds me of like how I'm now, the trees have started talking to me.
Yes, tell us about this.
So this is new. This is like, um, the other day I went for a walk and I was so miserable. I don't know why. Like it's Scorpio season. I'm a Scorpio and I feel it very heavily. It's hard on me during this time. It's just a lot of transmutation going on for everybody. And a tree just like was like, hello. Like it didn't, so how can I put it, how can I like make it so like people can understand this? I'm walking by a tree and all of a sudden it's like all of my attention was drawn to a tree out of
Yeah.
no, like I must look at this tree. And I was like, okay, so because I'm aware of what that means, I'm like, the tree's trying to talk to me.
Hmm.
So I like out of nowhere really noticed this one tree and I looked at it and I'm like, there is an owl
Mm-hmm.
imprinted in the tree. It was so bizarre, but
Yep.
not a real owl, but the way that these branches had grown somehow, or I don't know, I guess would be it was like an ingrown branch or something.
It was so cool.
It like looked like an owl. I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest tree I've ever seen. And so how you can communicate with trees is you open your hands, like I can already feel the energy. You can open your hands and you kind of step back and just allow. You step back, you say, I'd like to communicate with you. I am open to receive you. I'm here. And like that way, because trees are closed off of what I've
Mm-hmm.
learned, their energy is closed off. And they don't want to be like always bothered. And so like, but if you openly talk to them and like let them know your heart is open, they will communicate with you. And the tree, I was like, oh, she's a female. I'm like, no, no, she's a male. No, it's a male. And then I was like, no. And then she said, I'm an androgynous female. And I was like, okay, like okay, I hear you. And and then I just stood there with my hands open, and I was probably there for like 5 minutes. And I'm kid you not, I didn't ask for anything. I just stood there and acknowledging her. And she took all of my misery. Like it
Yeah.
was like I didn't
Yeah.
even know what was happening. After I was like, I just felt like it was time to leave. And when I left, I was like, whoa, like my mood is a lot different. Like, and I was like feeling joy in my heart. And I was like, holy crap. And I'm like, Crystal, this tree, blah, 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 blah. I was like, this is the coolest story ever.
I relate. That's why I go to my property every day and sit against my heart tree.
Hmm.
But like the heart tree has like a grandfather energy.
Okay.
Like this, like, yeah, it feels like a grandfather, like deep voice,
Okay.
really, really grounding. Like I sit at the base and lean against the tree, and I can literally see this is how I see it. So, you know how our chakras are like, they go like this as like whirlpools kind of, and to a point, and then you have one at the back. So you got like the front of the chakra and the back of the chakra. I can see the exchange like an infinite symbol like this from the tree to every chakra center.
Wow.
Weaving. That's how I see it. And you can feel it. Like if you sit against it and close your eyes, I can see the energy pooling like this into the tree. And it takes all your dense negative energy and it just grounds you right down into the earth.
See, I have a different, I know that trees are grounding, okay, like obviously, but I experience a different sensation when I go into the forest, but it depends what forest. And I think that has to do with the grid and the grid
Yeah.
that the trees are on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Land has different energies that are stored. Yes, it's Mother Earth, but there's different grids that we're on, right? When I was in BC, actually the land really called to me, and I realized that the land in BC is actually very sad, and she's hurting actually,
Oh,
and that's why I'm called there.
that's sad.
Transmute, help her transmute. She feels as like she's almost like a beaten animal. She
Oh.
feels wounded, and she spoke to me when I was there, and she said to me that the trees there are like her children, and they feel like lost boys. Like that's like what I was what she shared with me. And that I'm supposed to work with her with moss, and because moss is the interconnectiveness of all earth. And and yeah, so it
Fascinating.
is. So I think it depends on like probably the grid that we're on, like maybe the grid that I'm on here. I don't know what I'm it hasn't given me access to it yet, but I guess I'll find out. But I find sometimes when I go in the forest here often, I come out like I have to like consciously ground. Like I don't just come out and like, oh, I'm like,
Do you,
sometimes I come out and I'm like, whoa.
do you remember what tree it was you connected with?
Yeah.
Like you could go back and find it. Maybe just pick
Never.
one.
I will never, like, she is like,
Maybe just pick one tree and see if you can continuously connect to that one tree.
yeah.
I've been connecting to this tree, oh my gosh, probably like 15 years, maybe longer. Crazy.
My cat is, it's okay. My cat is asking inside and she's window washing and Gracie's like, what are we supposed to do?
Oh, let her in, Mom. She says she's yawning. She's like, ugh.
Okay, I'll do that.
Try that. And then, yeah, like connect with her again. See if it's okay if you sit at her. And because that might be it too. Like you said, not all trees are going to allow us to have an energy exchange, you know? And so maybe you just have to find your one tree.
I actually like now that you're talking about it, like my heart opens.
Yeah, trees are incredible. Like they honestly are. Nature is just. I'm really lucky though because I just go to the same place every day.
Mhm.
It's like my little sanctuary, and it's safe.
It is. Alrighty, well, I think that includes today. Do you have anything else to say about animals?
I love them
Do too.
so much.
Life would not be the same without them. Like,
Makes me emotional actually. I'm so emotional today. Life would not be the same.
okay, well, enjoy working on Gracie. And
Yeah.
thank you guys. And if you have any questions or have anything you want to know, just message Crystal on Instagram. And yeah, this is going to be so exciting. I highly suggest you guys get a session done.
Yes,
So
yay.
we'll see you next week, guys. Love you.
Bye, love you.